My name is Mackenzie Paquette, and today I will be discussing different types of female killers. I'm a credible source on this topic because I'm currently attending the University of Detroit Mercy to become a forensic psychologist. Due to this, I have increased knowledge on how different types of killers function and ways in order to determine a certain type of killer. Throughout my speech, I will just be discussing what Black Widow killers and Angel of Death killers are, their different types of motives, how they pick their victims, and examples of each of the different types of killers. Let me begin by discussing some general information about female killers. The FBI defines homicide as the willful killing of one person by another. Between the years of 2010 and 2019, the FBI found a 10.3% increase in females that were charged with murder and non-negligent manslaughter. Some general motives of female killers include lust, revenge, money, and sex. Crime Investigation UK found that women tend to use less brutal force to kill and use techniques such as poisoning, drowning, or even suffocation. They also concluded that women make justifications for their killings, or they believe that there's a justification in their killing. The first type of killer I will be discussing is a Black Widow killer. Black Widow killers are female killers that marry rich spouses and kill them in order to inherit their spouse's wealth. They typically have multiple spouses throughout their entire lifetime. According to the Behavioral Analysis Unit of the FBI, the motivation for Black Widow killers is financial gain. The FBI defines financial gain as a motivation in which the offender benefits from the killing. An example of this type of killer is Betty Lou Beets. Melissa Locker of Rolling Stone magazine dives deep into the story of Betty Lou Beets. Locker explains that in August of 1983, Beets reported her fifth husband, Don Beets, missing. His boat was found flipped over in a nearby lake, and police believed that he had drowned. 2 years later, Beets' son came forward to police and explained that he helped his mother bury her fifth husband in the backyard. When the police went to go investigate, they found the remains of not only the fifth husband, but also her fourth husband in the wishing well of their backyard. Beets denied that she killed these men. However, police believed that she killed them in order to gain their life insurance policy. Both Beets' son and daughter testified against her at trial. Beets was convicted and sentenced to death. She was executed in February of 2000. Another type of female killer I will be discussing is an Angel of Death killer. Angel of Death killers are killers who find vulnerable or compromised people and kill them. According to Dr. Daryl Turner, an FBI consultant, he explains that the motivation for these types of killers is to end the suffering of one person or the ability to gain some type of power over someone. Sophia Miderkosk of Insider.com explains that these type of people are typically employed in the medical field. This allows them to easily find victims and kill them. Carol Lieberman, a forensic psychologist, describes that these types of killers are extremely lethal and usually have a high body count. This is due to them having increased knowledge in the medical field and being able to find quick and efficient ways to kill their victims without raising any type of suspicion. Jane Topin is a prime example of an Angel of Death killer. CrimeMagazine.org explains the story of Jane Topin. Jane Topin was a student nurse at Cambridge Hospital. She got along with most of her patients. However, she believed that elderly patients were useless and not worth keeping around. During her time at Cambridge Hospital, she speculated to have killed at least 24 elderly patients. She would dope them up on opium and would increase their dosage in order to watch them suffer and ultimately die. Her killings at Cambridge Hospital went undetected for years. After she left Cambridge Hospital, she began to work as a private nurse around Boston. She would kill the elderly family members and would even steal their belongings. These killings also went undetected for years. The only reason Jane Toppan was caught was because she used a metallic-based poison. When she used this metallic-based poison, police were finally able to catch her. At her trial, she was found not guilty due to mental culpability. However, after she was found not guilty, she told her attorney that she had killed over 100 people and would get into the bed of her convulsing patients and would lay with them as they were dying. This immediately forced a retrial, and she was sentenced to life in the asylum. She died in 1983 in the asylum that she was committed to. Throughout my essay, I discussed what Black Widow killers and Angel of Death killers are, their different types of motives, how they pick their victims, and examples of each of the different types of killers. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my speech.